devotion. Second chapter is called first stage of devotion. Second chapter, first stage of devotion. Is explained the second way. First stage, 3 stages of devotion. Devotion service in practice. It's called Vaidhi Bhakti. Then Bhav Bhakti, then Prem. And what is Vaidhi Bhakti? Explain. Vidhi. One should follow rules. There are 2 types. Vidhi are of 2 types. Called Vidhi, regulated, and Raganuga. Now, by following rules and regulations, we develop Raganugas. That is very simple topic today. I think we will not go any new points, but you know already, are already practicing. But to substantiate whatever doing, we should do it, because you're already doing what has written here. So it is nothing new to you, but still we are reading. So what is today's topic is what is sadhana bhakti. What is sadhana? What you should practice? In the statement of Shukadeva Goswami, it said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami recommends that one should always hear about it. He does not recommend that one hear and chant about the demigods. The Mayavadis say that you can chant any name, either that of Krishna or those of demigods. And the result will be the same. Some people in Bengal say, Kali Krishna, same. Kali is demigod, but Krishna is not the same. But actually, this is not the fact. According to the authorized version of Srimad Bhagavatam, one has to hear and chant Lord Vishnu. Nothing else. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Archanam Padasharam. Clearly, Bhagavatam says, Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. Should Sravan Kirtanam Vishnu? How? I don't know from where they got the rascal face. You can hear anything, you will become devotee. If you hear, continuously hearing cinema song, so you will become devotee. How it is possible? How the insane man can believe that is true? He has recommended to Parikshit Maharaj that in order to fearless of death, one has to hear and chant and remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna by all. Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, oh Parikshit, you are fearful to death. But if you want to fearless, then Ichchutam Akudabhayam Harinam Anukirtanam. If you want really fearless, then Bhagavatam recommended that Harer Namanu Kirtanam. Always chant Hare name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. When Prahlad Maharaj was asked for some benediction from Nishimadeva, Prahlad Maharaj said, Lord, as I am always chanting your name, I am so happy. But those rascals not accepting you as Lord and Master, I am worried about them. I am very happy because always chanting you. Shukadeva Goswami also mentions that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sarvatma. Sarvatma Ishvara Hari. Sarvatma means the super soul of God. Krishna is also mentioned as Ishvara, the supreme controller who is situated in everyone's heart. Therefore, If some way or other we become attached to Krishna, he will make us free from the danger. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that anyone who becomes a devotee of Lord is never vanquished. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Others, however, always vanquished. Vanquished means that after getting this human form of life, a person does not come out of the entanglement of birth and death, and thus misses his golden opportunity. Such a person does not know where he is being thrown by the laws of nature. That is the meaning of vanquish. Suppose people know those who are not following Krishna consciousness, are they vanquished? Here, meaning of vanquish means after death, where will go nobody? We don't know. Suppose one does not develop Krishna consciousness in this human form of life, he will be thrown into this cycle of birth and death, involving 8.4 million species of life. And his spiritual identity will remain lost. That is called vanquish. Spiritual identity will lost. Your soul that will go, I am a dog, I am a hog. Spiritual identity will lost. That is the meaning of vanquish. Whether it is going to be a plant, or a beast, or a bird, or something like that. Because there are so many species of the recommendation. The recommendation of Rupa Goswami for reviving our original Krishna consciousness is that somehow or other we should apply our minds to Krishna very seriously and thus also become fearless of death. Recommendation of Rupa Goswami, reviving our original Krishna consciousness somehow or other. Jeno teno prakareno mono Krishna nivesh hoy. Jeno teno prakareno, somehow or other. Wherever you move, one should engage in mind in Krishna's. After death, we do not know our destination because we are completely under the control of the laws of nature. Only Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is controller over the laws of nature. Therefore, if we take shelter of Krishna seriously, there will be no fear of being thrown back into the cycle of many species of life. A sincere devotee will surely be transferred to the abode of Krishna, as affirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita says, Jatgatta na nivartante tadhama param. In the Padma Purana also, the same process is advised. There, it is said that one should always remember Lord Vishnu. This is called dhyan or meditation. Always remembering Vishnu. Always satatam smartabha Vishnu. Always remember. Vismartabha na jatuchit. Never forget. It is said that one has to meditate with his mind fixed upon Vishnu. Padma Purana recommends that one always fixes his mind on the form of Vishnu by meditating and not forgetting him any moment. And this state of consciousness is called Samadhi of trance. Shatatam smartava Vishnu, 50%. Other 50% rule, Bismartava najatuchit. Shatatam smartava Vishnu, always remember Krishna. Next rule, Bismartava najatuchit. Never forget Krishna. We should always try to mold the activities of our life in such a way that we will constantly remember Vishnu or Krishna. What is the meaning of this? We should mold our life. Just a clay or semi-solid thing. You put in a mold, it will take the shape of the mold. In the same way, we should put ourselves in such a situation. We should mold by that. If we remain in the ashram, every day wake up before 4 o'clock, light on, everything on, you cannot sleep at that. So keep yourself in such a place. Some devotee cannot wake up. He sleeps in the door, so that one devotee will wake up him. Otherwise, he cannot open the door. So we should mold our life in such a way that we are forced to remember Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Whether one concentrates his mind on the 400 form of Vishnu or in the 200 form of Krishna, it's the same. Why Prabhupada is saying? Actually, a verse goes like that. Shatatang smartabam Vishnu, vismartabam najatuchi. That verse is Vishnu, not written Krishna. People may say, oh, in this verse it is mentioned, Shatatang smartabam Vishnu. Why you are Krishna? That is why Prabhupada is saying, there is no difference. Either Vishnu or Krishna, you can remember anything. The Padma Puri recommends, somehow or other, always think of Vishnu without forgetting him under any circumstances. Actually, this is the most basic of all regulative principles. Just remember the verse. First line, Shatatang smartava Vishnu. Vismartava na jatuchit. Second line, Sarvapidhi nishedeshu itayarva kinkara. Whatever rules and regulations in our life, all are the subservients of this two rules. Sarva vidhi nishedeshu. Vidhi nished. Vidhi means rules. Nishad means? Vidhi means do. Nishad means don't do. Whatever they are in the rules and regulations, kinkara, servant of these two rules. Oh, should I do this? If he helps you to remember Krishna, do this. If he helps you to forget Krishna, don't do this. So, Sarva Vidhi Nishedeshu. Should I take 5 gulab jamun? If he helps you to remember Krishna, eat it. If you forget Krishna, then don't eat it. Sarva Vidhi Nishedeshu. Whatever rules and regulations are subservients of these two rules. Actually, this is the most basic of all regulative principles. For when there is an order from a superior about doing something, there is simultaneously a provision. When the order is that one should always remember Krishna, the prohibition is that one should never forget him. Within this simple order and prohibition, all regulative principles are found complete. Everything is there. Any rules and regulation, you may not have, oh, I have not heard, I have not read in the scripture, I should do this or do that. Should I do this job or not? Should I go there or not? Should I talk with him or not? Every rules will not be written or somebody tell you. Now, compare, is it help you to remember Krishna? Then do this. If you forget Krishna, then don't do this. This regulative principle is applicable to all varnas and ashramas, caste and occupations of life. There are 4 varnas, namely Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. There are 4 standard ashramas, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and Shannyas. The regulative principles are not only for brahmacharis to follow, but are applicable to all. It does not matter whether one is a beginner at a brahmachari or if one is very advanced Vaishnav. The principle of remembering the Supreme Personality of God constantly and not forgetting Him at any moment is meant to be followed by anyone without fail. If the injunction is followed, then all other rules and regulations will automatically fall into line. All other rules and regulations should be treated as assistants of servants to this one basic principle. Sarva vidhi nishedashu. Etoerava kinkara. Kinkara means servant. The injunctions of rules and regulations and the resultant actions are mentioned in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, 1st and 2nd. Chamush Muni said, Sri Chamushi বলছে মুখ বাহুর পাদেভ্য পুরুষস্য আশ্রমেশঃ চত্বরা যজ্ঞিরেবর্ণ গুণীর বিপ্রাদয় পৃথক. Sri Chamush said, each of the four social orders headed by the Brahmanas was born through different combinations of the modes of nature from the face, arms, thighs, and feet of the Supreme Lord in His universal power. Thus, the four spiritual orders are also generated from the face, Brahmas, from arm, Kshatriyas, from thighs, Vaishya, and from feet, Shudras. Thus, the four spiritual orders are also generated. Here, the Chamush is saying, the four social order, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, have come out of the different part of the universal form of the Supreme Lord as follows. The Brahmanas have come out from the head, Kshatriyas have come out from the arms, the Vaishyas come out from the waist, and Shudras have come out from the legs. Similarly, Sannyashis have come out from the head, Vanaprasthas from the arms, Grihasthas from the waist, and Brahmacharis from the leg. These different orders of society and grades of spiritual advancement are conceived in terms of qualification. It's confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the four social orders and the four social orders and the four spiritual orders are created by Lord Himself in terms of different individual qualities. Four social order, four spiritual order. Social order, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. Spiritual order, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha. As the different parts of the body have different types of activities. So these social orders and spiritual orders also have different types of activities in terms of qualification and position. The target of these activities, however, is always the Supreme Personality of God. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, He is the Supreme Enjoyer. So, whether one is Brahman or Shudra, he has to satisfy the Supreme Lord by his activities. This is also confirmed in Bhagavatam. By verse we say, reads, everyone must be engaged in this particular duty, but the perfection of such work should be tested by how far the Lord is satisfied with such activities. That is the test. Dharma sanishtitat pungsha vishakshana kuthashi not by that jatirati samayavati. The injunction here is that one has to act according to his position by such activities, one must either satisfy the Supreme Personality or else fall down from his position. Sthanat patanti ada. For example, a Brahman who is born out of the head of the Lord and has as his business to please the transcendental Vedic sound or Shabdavam. Because the Brahman is the head, he has to please the transcendental sound. And he also has to eat on behalf of the Supreme Lord. According to the Vedic injunction, when Brahman eats, it is to be understood that the personality of Godhead is eating through him. It is not, however, that Brahman should simply eat on behalf of the Lord, not preach the message of Bhagavad to the world. Actually, one who preaches the message of the Bhagavad Gita is very dear to us, as confirmed by Bhagavad Gita itself. Last Bhagavad Gita said, Name tasmat, nacha me tasmat manusheshu, koshchit me prikritam. Nobody is there. Bhavina, bhavitana tame tasmat, unna priyatara. Such a preacher is actually a Brahmana. And thus, by feeding him, one feeds the Supreme Lord directly. Similarly, the Kshatriya has to protect people from the onslaught of Maya. That is his duty. For example, as soon as Maharaj Parikshit saw that a black man was attempting to kill a cow, he immediately took his sword, wanting to kill the black man, whose name was Koli. That is Kshatriya's duty. Violence is required in order to give protection. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna directly gave this order to Arjuna to commit violence on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just to give protection to people in general. And some less intelligent people said the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not violence. Krishna directly telling fight. Now, how the rascal can say it is the message of Bhagavad Gita is non-violence? The Vaishyas are meant for producing agricultural products, trading them and distributing them. And the working class or Shudras are those who have not the intelligence of the Brahmins or the Kshatriyas or the Vaishyas. And therefore, they are meant to help these higher classes by bodily labor. In this way, there is full cooperation of spiritual advancement amongst all the different orders of society. And when there is no such cooperation, the members of society will fall down. That is the present position in Kali Yuga, this age of quarrel. Nobody is doing his duty, and everyone is simply puffed up by calling himself Brahman or Kshatriya. But actually, such people are without status. They are out of touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are not Krishna conscious. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is intended to set the whole of human society in proper condition so that everyone will be happy and take profit from developing Krishna consciousness. Lord Sri Krishna instructed Uddhava that by following the injunction of the social and spiritual orders of the human society, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as a result of such satisfaction, the whole society gets all the necessities of life amply and without difficulty. This is because, after all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead maintains all other living entities. If the whole society performs its respective duties and remain in Krishna consciousness, there is no doubt that all of its members will live very peacefully and happy. Without wanting the necessities of life, the whole world will be turned into vehicle, the spiritual abode. Everyone without being transferred to the kingdom of God by following the injunction of the Srimad Bhagavatam and prosecuting the duties of Krishna consciousness, all human society will be happy in all respects. There is a statement, similar statement, by Sri Krishna himself to Dham in 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord says there, my dear Uddhava, all persons are engaged in activities, whether those indicated in the revealed scriptures or ordinary world activities. If the result of either of such activities to worship me in Krishna consciousness, then automatically they become very happy within this world as well as the next. Of this, there is no doubt. We can conclude from this statement by Krishna that activities in Krishna consciousness will give everyone all protection in their desires. Thus, the Krishna consciousness movement is so nice that there is no need to even designating oneself Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Banprastha, Shannyasi. Let everyone be engaged in whatever occupation he now has. Simply let him worship Lord Krishna by the result of his activities in Krishna consciousness. That will adjust the whole situation and everyone will be happy and peaceful within this life. In the Narad Pancharatra, the regulative principles of devotional service are described as follows. Any activity is sanctioned in the revealed scriptures and aiming at the sanction, aiming at the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are accepted by saintly teachers as the regulative principles of devotional service. If somebody regularly executes such service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, then gradually he rises to the platform of serving in pure love of God. So this chapter is not a simple thing, but we should be very conscious. For devotional service, either Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or Brahmachari, Banprastha, wherever we, our business, to absorb our thought impulse. That's all. To emphasize the point, Prabhupada is giving so much nice explanation. So that is the beginning of the bhakti. Jenotena prakarena mano Krishna nivesh. So here in the very beginning of this chapter of devotion, three types of bhakti, sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti. What is sadhana? Our sadhana, how to remember Krishna and not to forget Krishna. Whatever rules will come in front of us in future, just fall in that line. Is it helping me remember Krishna? It's okay. If it is not helping me remember Krishna, then I will not do this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you Maharaj for giving explanation. Maharaj, my question is like this principle was mentioned that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Maharaj, can you please help me with understanding this? That both points look the same. Like if we always remember Krishna, so and so automatically second point it means that
For second point, I can give you example. If you tell me, do you take prasad? Yes, I take prasad. But if you tell, don't anything other than prasad. You take prasad? Yes, I take prasad. When I go to the temple, I take prasad. But if you tell, don't eat other than prasad, other people will twist it. So, affirmative sentence is not complete. Negative sentence is also important to emphasize that. And if you tell, go to the hotel and go to that hotel and eat. But he said, don't go other hotel also. If you like it, other okay. Father said, go there. He has not told not to go other place. If your father send you, go Delhi for a study. And I said, don't do any nonsense there. That should be there. Is clear?
yes, sir. Thank you.
Jagru Mandal.
Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, here Prabhupada writes that we don't need any designation. Kshatriya, Brahman, Brahmachari, Vaishya. And also sometimes Prabhupada tells about Varnashram Dharma in some of his lectures and morning walk talks. So how we should understand Maharaj? Because Varnashram Dharma is categorized like different scales of society. So how we should understand this, Maharaj?
So what is the question? Should we follow Varnashram or not? That is the question.
Yes, Maharaj. Because here Prabhupada says no social designation. Just do devotional service.
Yeah. This question is, we should not stack up with that. Oh, I'm not Brahman, I cannot do this. For doing bhakti, that is not a barrier. That is the important point. But at the same time, without social status, this thing, yes, society cannot run. Everybody cannot claim I'm Brahman. And Brahman cannot work like it should be. So whatever natural propensity, do work with that propensity, no need of ceasing of it. But any situation is not hindrance for your practicing Krishna consciousness. But we should not stuck up with that, the Varna and Ashram. But at the same time, we should not violate the process also. Oh, I am now Krishna Bhakta, so I am Brahmanical activities. Nature is I should serve. If you are Krishna Bhakta, if anybody does Krishna Bhakta, illegal to give any lecture and Brahmanical activities. Okay. Okay, Shuman.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, there is this statement where it is said that Kshatriya should protect the citizens from the onslaught of Maya. So can you little elaborate? Because when Maya attacks, a person, how can a Kshatriya especially protect that?
But we should protect from anything, everything. Why not from Maya? Kshatriya should protect. Kshatrayate. So not from injury. That is also spiritual injury also. If somebody attacked someone not to practice Krishna consciousness, so Kshatriya should go there to protect him so that he can practice Krishna consciousness. If Kshatriya, somebody is breaking the temple, so Kshatriya should go there not to break the temple so that he can practice Krishna consciousness. And he should create all the favorable atmosphere for Krishna consciousness. Okay.
Maharaj, it's not the internal things like anger, lust, all those attacks by Maya. That thing the Kshatriya cannot do anything, right? It's the internal.
Yeah, that if Kshatriya is a devotee, he can do that also by giving lecture. When he become a Kshatriya, become devotee, he can do that. Why not? Okay, Lekha.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Dhanavad Pranam. Maharaj, my question is that I heard somewhere that Srila Prabhupada said that 50% work is left about establishing Varnashram Dharma. So what does exactly the work, what is actually left?
Yeah, Prabhupada explained. Prabhupada said, whatever he said, whatever ISKCON I have done, lot of things that's true, but everybody will not accept Krishna consciousness. And that is why to help them, people in general, those who are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, wherever they are, how to practice from that level. We should systematically do something for them also. Prabhupada has given everything actually, but Prabhupada wanted to go more specifically by being a Kshatriya, by being a Vaishya, by a Shudra. From there, how we can practice more perfectly Krishna consciousness. Like you can see in our country, in every country, there is no Kshatriya king. And country is not ruled by the Brahmanas, mantris. So it is not actually completed. So Prabhupada wanted to that, establish that also. The king should be real Kshatriya and Kshatriya should be guided by the Brahmanas minister. That was not established, but Prabhupada's desire was that to establish that. But whatever Prabhupada has given in his book, so by reading that book, one day that will be established. We don't have any tinge of doubt about that. Okay. Okay, last question. Sure.
Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, I just after Suman Prabhu mentioned about um, how a Kshatriya saves one individual from the onslaughts of Maya. So Maharaj, I was considering that when we talk about a Vaishnava, just like Guru Maharaj, so Guru Maharaj was saving us from the onslaughts of Maya by his lectures. At the same time, sometimes he was raising funds for the different projects that he was doing. So sometimes he was Brahmana, sometimes he was a family man because he was having a big family of around 6,500 disciples. So in this way, Maharaj, is it so that when someone becomes a devotee, all the Varnashrama is inside him?
Yeah, that is called Deva Varna. So after devotees, they are ready to do any type of service. As a Vaishnava is higher than any other Varnas, above Brahmanas also. But that Vaishnava is ready to do any type. He do Shudra service, Vaishya service, Kshatriya service. He is ready to do any type of service for propagating Krishna consciousness. If he needs, he can act like a Kshatriya.
Yes, Maharaj. Understanding. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Prafulla. Your sound is not coming. I should remove from your mobile.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, is it audible? Okay. So Maharaj, I had read that like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, it is an offense to consider that a Vaishnava is belonging from some Vard ashram system. Saying like a Brahman Vaishnava, Sudra Vaishnava, like that, it is an offense. So can you please kindly elaborate on this?
Yes. Vaishnava Jati Buddhi is scripture say. One should not consider that Vaishnava belongs to that that caste. Vaishnava Jati Buddhi, what are they? Other? Guru Shunaramati, spiritual master is ordinary human being. And Archa Shiladhi, thinking deity is a stone. Vaishnava belongs to some caste, and a spiritual master, ordinary human being. If someone thinks like that, he is the resident of hell. This scripture is saying. So we should not say Vaishnava belongs to any caste. Vaishnava is beyond that. Vaishnava is above, like Brahman in Satyavan, Kshatriya in Rajavan, Vaishya, Raja and Tamak, and Shudra and Tamak. And Vaishnava is above the three modes. So that is why we should not consider the Vaishnava any caste. But in a society, without these four, there is nothing else. So though they are not belonging, but they should act in any caste. A Vaishnava, if he is become a king, he is working like Kshatriya, but actually he is not Kshatriya, he is Brahman. He is Vaishnava. But working like it. Kshatriya. He can, like a Shudra, he can serve like a Shudra, but he is not Shudra. So by seeing his external activity, we cannot consider him that, oh, he is a Shudra Vaishnava, he is a Kshatriya Vaishnava. Is it clear?
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, what about us, like who are doing a job and they are earning?
What about you? You think yourself, you are beyond the three modes of the Vaishnava. But you should think I am a Shudradham, and everybody is Vaishnava. You think in such a way, then say, think yourself, I am not even Shudradham. Other everybody is a Vaishnava. Beyond. They are not in the fourth class, I am not in the fourth class. They are beyond the fourth class, I am not in the fourth class. They are the same.
Thank you, Maharaj.
The Prabhupada lecture those.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanyavad Pranam.
Krishna Maharaj.
Pranam.